Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I am back with another video on topic RTK query. So in today's video, we are going to learn how we can perform JWT authentication with the help of RTK query in React using TypeScript. And in this video, we are not going to create any REST API for our sign in and sign up feature. We will be using existing production level API which is already deployed on Heroku. And if you are interested to learn how to create REST API for authentication, then I will provide particular video link in description. So let's have a quick demo of this application. So we have already some user in our database. So I'm going to log in with John Doe and let's click on login. So now you can see that we are successfully able to log in this application and we land on the dashboard page. So we have some basic information about this user. So we are just showing the name and we have one logout button. And if you click on logout, so you will navigate back to the login page. Okay. And we have also registration functionality. So if you click on sign up, so we are going to have this registration form. So I'm going to add new user. So let's give here John Cena @gmail.com. Let's give password 123456. Let's click on register. So now you can see that we have successfully able to register this user and we land on dashboard page. Okay, so we are showing this name, and if you click on logout, then you will basically navigate back to the login page. And we are also going to handle the error as well with the help of RTK query. So if you try to log in with the user that doesn't exist, so let's give some user here. So we are also going to handle the error with the help of RTK query. So we are getting all this error message from our backend API, which is deployed on Heroku. So we will be using production level API. So we are not going to work on the backend side like Node, Express and MongoDB in this application. So I have already created an API for login and registration functionality. So we will use that API in this application, which is deployed on Heroku. And if you try to log in with correct email, and if you give wrong password, so let's give some random password. In that case also we are going to show an error message like invalid credential. And you can always switch between login and registration form by clicking on this sign up. And if you click on sign in, you will navigate back to the login page. So this is the overall application that we are going to build in today's video with the help of RTK query in React using TypeScript. And before we start working on this application, if you haven't subscribed this channel, then please do subscribe this channel and like the video as well if you find out that it's helpful. So before we start working on our application, so first we are going to test the API that we are going to use in this application. So we are going to use here production API that deployed on Heroku. So we are going to use this API to perform the sign-in operation. So I have already some user in my database. So I'm going to log in with existing user that I have in my database. So I have one user here like John Wick @gmail.com, and password we have here 123456. okay, and let's click on send. So you can see that we have got two things, that is result in which we have name, email and password. So password is hash over here and we got token. So this is the API we are going to use to perform the sign-in operation. And if the email is incorrect, so we will get error message like user does not exist. So we are also going to show this error message as well in our application. And if you provide incorrect password, so we are going to have different error message. Okay, so let's click on send here. So now you can see that we got message like invalid credential. Okay, so this is for sign in. Now let's perform the sign up. So for sign up, we are going to have here sign up. So this API we are going to use to perform the sign up operation. And first I'm going to try with the same email that we have in our database, and here I'm going to give first name. So we have to add this additional field as well. So first name, let's give John Wick. Okay, sorry, John. And let's give last name. So we have last name as well. So overall we have to provide the 4 value in order to sign up in this application. So let's give here Vic. So this email is already exist in our database. So if you click on send, you will get a message like user already exists. So we cannot register with this email. Okay, now let's give new email here. So I'm just going to change this name from John to John Mayer. Okay, and let's give here John Mayer, and let's click on send. So this time it should register successfully in our DB. So you can see that with this email we have successfully able to register in our database, and we have got the token as well. So this 2 API we are going to use in this application to build our full authentication with the help of RTK query. So I will see you in the next video where we are going to do our project setup. So let's see you in next video. So now we are going to do a project setup. So in this project we are going to use Redux TypeScript template. So I'm just going to copy this command and I'm going into my directory, and here I'm going to open a command prompt, and let's paste that command, and I'm going to give a project name here like Auth RTK JWT, because we are going to perform authentication with JWT. So let's hit enter, and it will take around 2 to 3 minutes to install the necessary dependency. So I will be back once project setup got complete. So our project setup got completed over here. So first let's go into this directory, that is auth RTK JWT. And before we do npm start, we need to install some packages in this project. So I'm going to install package like mdb react UI kit, and I need to install package one more like react router DOM, and one package related to notification. So react hostify we need to install. So let's install all these packages. So it's look like our package got installed. Okay, so let's verify this one whether our package got installed or not. So as you can see that project is already open in my VS Code. So we have installed these 3 additional dependency for this project, and let's do npm start first. So our development server got started. So our application will load into the browser. So as you can see that our application is successfully loaded into the browser. So let's first go into VS Code, and we need to do some cleanup. Okay, so we don't need this counter folder, so I'm just going to delete this one. So let's delete this counter, and let's go to this store.ts file, and since we have removed the counter folder, so we need to remove this one, otherwise we will get error. Okay, let's save this file, and let's go to this app.tsx file, and I'm just going to remove all the content that we have inside this div. So let's remove this one, and I'm going to give heading here auth JWT. Okay, and this import statement we need to remove because that folder is deleted, and let's delete this 2 import statement as well. Let's save this file, and let's see terminal whether we have any issue or not. So we don't have any issue, so let's go back to browser. So now we have got our heading like auth JWT. So in this project, as you can see that we are using material design bootstrap to build our component. So we need CSS file as well for this material design bootstrap. So we have already installed the package. We just need to bring the CSS file. So what you can do for that, so you can just copy this import statement, and let's go back to VS Code, and in this index.css file you can just paste it over here, that import statement. Save this file and let's go into the browser. So now you can see that this heading got changed, so the styling got applied related to material design bootstrap in this project. That means we have successfully configured material design bootstrap in this project. So now after we are going to basically do a folder structure in this project. Okay, so we are going to create couple of folder and file. So the first folder I'm going to create for component. So we are going to have some component, and then we are going to have folder for pages. Then we are going to have one folder for service. Okay, I think that's it. Now we are going to have two files inside these pages. So we are going to have one file for auth, so auth.tsx, and in this file we are going to have both login and register form. So for now I'm just going to generate a snippet over here. Okay, and let's create one more file, that is dashboard. So once user successfully log in into application, so we wanted to basically navigate towards one dashboard page. So let's generate a snippet again over here, and let's save this one. And now I'm going to configure routing in this application. So let's bring some component from our React router DOM. So we need browser router, routes, route, and we also need navigate. Okay, now here after that what we have to do, let's remove this one, and we are going to have browser router. Inside that we are going to have our routes. Okay, and inside route we are going to have our individual route. So first I'm going to define home route, and since we are going to have only two routes, that is auth and dashboard, and for home route we don't have any component, so what we can do, so here we can basically navigate towards the auth route. Okay, so whenever user basically try to navigate towards the home page, so he will basically redirect to the auth page. So here we can define this route auth, and we can just specify here replace. Okay, now we are going to have here auth route. Okay, and this will be path, not to. Okay, and we are going to have one more route, and this time we are going to have path auth. Okay, because we have specified here path, so whenever you visit on home route, so you will automatically redirect to this auth route. Okay, so here we are going to have our auth component. So let's bring that auth component, that is auth page. So VS Code should automatically import this auth. Okay, so you can see that VS Code import auth page automatically. Now we are going to have dashboard page. So once user successfully log in into our application, he will basically navigate towards the dashboard page, and this dashboard page is going to wrap with the private route. So we will create that component later. For now just render this dashboard. So let's save this file first, and we can verify this one whether this route is working or not. So you can see that auth is coming here. And if you try to navigate to a dashboard, then dashboard page will get rendered. And if you try to visit home route, so you will redirect to auth. Okay, you can see that even if you try to go to home page, so we don't have any component on the home page, so we are just redirecting back to auth. Okay, so this is working. Now we are going to configure Toastify in this application first before we start working on component. So what I can do over here, so I'm just going to bring two import statement related to React Toastify, and here I can use toast container so that we can able to use toast notification on our login and register form. So this is also we have configured successfully. Now after that, what we have to do, so first I am going to start working on our form page. Okay, so first we will be basically working on our login and register form. So I am going to start with the login and register form, and on the same page we are going to have both form. So we are not going to have a separate route for login and register. So in the same route we are going to have both form, that is login and register. So let's start working on our login and register form. So we need to bring some hooks first. So from React we need use state and use effect. We're gonna also need use navigate from React router DOM. So let's bring that one as well, use navigate. And we are also need to bring one component from our MDB React UI kit, that is MDB input. Okay, and here outside I'm going to define the initial state of our form. So let's have those states. So we're gonna have first name, then we're gonna have last name, email, and let's give password, and we're going to have one more confirm password. But we are not going to send this confirm password, we are just going to send first name, last name, email and password for sign up, and for login we are just going to send email and password. So let's define this one. After that we are going to define one state. So form value, set form value, use state, let pass here initial state. After that we are going to have one more state, because we are going to have both form on the same page, that is login and register. So we're going to have a state like so register, set so register, use state, and it will be false. Okay, and after that let's work on this return part. So what we can do over here, so let's remove this div, and we are going to have section, and here I'm going to have class name with vh-100. so this is bootstrap class name we are using here, and let's give one class name gradient custom. So we need to define the styling for this gradient custom. So what I can do here, so let's go to this index.css file, and I'm going to paste the styling for that class name. So this styling we have to add for this class name gradient custom. So let's go back to this auth.tsx file, and inside this we are going to have div with the class name container and py-4 dot h-100. Inside this div we are going to have one more div with the class name row, then we are going to have class name here d-flex, Then we are going to have justify content center, and after that we are going to have one more class name, align items center, then h-100. So here we are using bootstrap class name again, and inside div we are going to have one more class name. So here we are going to define basically column. So column hyphen 12, then call hyphen md. So it will be basically responsive. So that's why I am defining this class name, call hyphen lg hyphen 6, then call xl hyphen 5. Inside this div we are going to have one more class name for the card. So card, then bg hyphen dark. So the color of card will be the black. So the background color of card will be the black. Then text hyphen white. And here we have to give one inline styling. So I'm just going to give here border radius 1 rem. Inside this div we are going to have one more div with the class name card hyphen body, then p hyphen 4, then text center. Inside this we are going to have one more div with the class name mb hyphen md hyphen 5, then empty hyphen md hyphen 4, then pb hyphen 5. Okay, and inside this we are going to have h2 tag with the class name fw hyphen bold, then mb hyphen 2, and it will be uppercase. So text uppercase, and inside this h2 tag, so we are gonna check. So if you are in login page, then we have to show the heading like login. Okay, so if you here click on sign up, so this will become true. So for now it will be login. Okay, and this will be question mark, and else it will be the register. So register will be false initially, so that means we are in login page, and if it's true, that means we are in register page. Okay, now let's format this one for now. Okay, and we can check this one. So let's go into the browser first. So now you can see that we have got our card and we got our heading login. After that we're gonna have p tag with the class name text hyphen white 50 dot mb hyphen 4. Okay, and inside this again we have to check if you're in login page, then we can give here like please enter your email and password. Okay, else it means we are in register page. So we can just give here like please enter user detail. Okay, so let's format this one. Now after this p tag we are going to have some input field. So first I'm going to basically define for our login form. So first I'm going to have two input field for our login form. So I'm going to have one div here with the class name form outline, and we are going to have one more class name form white mb-4. okay, and inside this div I am going to use mdb input component. Okay, and type will be the text, and after that name. So name I'm going to give over here email, and type let's also give email because it is the email input field, and let's give here value. So we have already defined the state for this one, so it will be email. I think we haven't destructured this all values, so let's destructure from our form value. So it will be first name, last name, email, password, and confirm password. Okay, so email we have already used. After that we're gonna having a on change method. Okay, so let's give your handle change. Okay, and let's define this method outside, otherwise we will get error message. Let's keep continue working on our form component. After that let's give here label. So label will be email. Then we are going to have one class name form control -lg. Okay, let's save this one, and we can verify this one whether we are able to see any input field or not. So we got one input field here. So for the other input field we can just copy this div. Okay, so let's copy this one, and let's just change this one from email to password. Name will be password, this will be also a password. Let's give label password. So we got two input field, our login form, you can see that here. Now we need button. So after this div what we can do, so here again we can check here, like if show register is false, that means it will become true, that means we are in login page. So we're gonna have button here. So button with the class name here btn outline -light, then btn -lg, and then px-5. Okay, and this will having a login. Okay, so value of button will be the login, and let's give type here button only. Okay, and for else also we're gonna have that one. So I'm just going to copy this one and I'm just going to paste it over here. So this will be register. Okay, so let's go into the browser. Now we have got our nice login button over here. After that we have to give some kind of message, like if you don't have any account then you have to basically click on sign up. Okay, so this kind of message we have to give. So let's give that message below this login button. So again what we can do over here, so here we can have one div, and inside this div we are going to have h5 tag with the class name mb-0. okay, and here we can check if show register false, that means we are in login page, and in that case we can check here, like if you don't have account then you can basically click on sign up. So we can give something like that message. So we can give don't have an account. Okay, so here we are going to have one p tag with the class name text white, okay, -50, then fw -bold, and inside this p tag we are going to have sign up. Okay, and in the else part, that means if you are in the register page, so in that case we wanted to show a message like already have an account, then please sign in, something like that we can give message. So here we can give the message like already have an account. So have an account. So let's put inside a fragment first. So let's remove this one, and here we can give like already have an account. Then you can basically directly log in into our application. So again, I'm just going to copy this one, and I'm just going to paste it over here. So it will be sign in. Okay, and let's give some inline styling here, that is cursor pointer. Okay, and here we are going to have on click method, and it will be set so register, so it will become now true. So once you click on sign up, so register will become true, and you will basically land on the register page. So if you are already on register page, and if you have already credential to log in into application, so you can also sign in. So in that case we can just copy this one, and we can just paste it over here, and this will we have to make false. Okay, let's save this one and let's verify this one in browser. So let's go into the browser. Okay, so you can see that we have got this one, don't have an account and sign up, but this should be at bottom. So let's fix that one. So we did one small mistake. So here after this button we're gonna close this div. Okay, and let's remove one div. Okay, let's save this one. Now let's go to the browser. So now you can see that we have got this message like if you don't have account, then you can click on this sign up. So if you click on sign up, then this button value got changed, and this heading also got changed, and this message also got changed. So in case of register, we have to add 3 more input fields, that is first name, last name, and confirm password. And if you click on sign in, then you will basically navigate towards the login page. Okay, so you can see that this is working. So now let's work on this register form. So let's go back to VS Code. So now we are going to work on our register form. So we have to add 3 more input fields for first name, last name, and confirm password. So this field we have to show based on the show register flag. So if it's true, that means we are in register form. So let's add those input field for our register form. So we are going to use this same flag to add additional input field. So here what I can do, so here we can use that same show register flag. So if it's true, then I'm going to add 2 additional input field first here, that is first name and last name. So here I'm going to add those 2 input fields. So I'm going to use here fragment first, and I can just copy this 2 div. Okay, so let's copy this one and let's paste it over here. So it will be text. Okay, name will be the first name, this will be first name, this will be first name, this will be text, name will be the last name, this will be last name and this will be last name. And we are going to have one more input field for confirm password, so that we're gonna add after this password field. So here again we can check if show register is true, then we are going to show that confirm password. So I can just copy this div, let's paste it over here. It will be also type password, name let's give confirm password, value will be confirm password, let's give level confirm password. Okay, so let's first verify this input field in our browser. So now you can see that we have got additional input field for register, and if you click on sign in, then we will have only two input field, that is email and password. If you click on sign up, then we're gonna have first name, last name, email, password and confirm password. So this is all working. So let's quickly work on this handle change as well. So we have already defined this function outside this return. So here it's gonna receive an event, and here we are using TypeScript, so we have to give here event, and it could be any. And here we have to set the form value, and we can just give like form value, and here e dot target dot name e dot target dot value. Okay, so let's save this one and let's see whether we are able to type in our input field or not. So this is all working, you can see that. So we have completed our both login and register form here. Now we have to write logic to perform login and register functionality. So first I am going to perform the login functionality. So before that we have to configure RTK query in this application. So let's do that one first. So in order to perform login and register functionality in this application, first we have to configure the RTK query. Okay, so in this service folder we are going to have one file that is called auth api.ts. Okay, and inside this file we need to bring create API and fetch based query from Redux-Toolkit. So we have to go to one more level, that is query and React. Okay, and from this we need to bring create API. So with the help of create API we basically create a series of endpoint. So in order to define the series of endpoint we have to use create API. After that let's define here export const auth API create API, and we have to define reducer path because we have to connect this service to our store. So we have to specify here reducer path. So I'm going to give here auth API only, and after this we have to give here base query. Inside that I am going to use fetch base query, and here we have to specify the base URL. So our base URL is https test tour app.heroku app. So we are using production API in this application. So we are done with this base query. After that we have to define endpoint. So in this project we are just going to have two endpoints for login and register. So let's define for login because this is the first functionality that we are going to perform in this application. So here we have to write builder pattern, and inside that we have to specify login user. So first we are going to perform login operation, and this will be builder dot mutation. Okay, because we have to make a post request. So we have to write here mutation. If it is a get request, then we basically write builder.query. Since here we have to pass email and password, so we have to make a post request, and in order to make post request we have to write mutation here. Okay, so under this we're gonna have query. Okay, and we are going to receive email and password in a body. So email, and it will be string. Let's define for password as well. It will be also string. So let's keep small only. Okay. After that, we are going to return. So URL. So we have to perform the login operation. So it will be sign in. Method, we have to specify method. So it will be a post request, and we have to pass this entire body which contain email and password that we are going to receive from our component. Okay, so let's format this one, and after this, so this basically expose the new hook. So what we can do, export const auth API, and this login user basically export a new hook. So it will be like use login user mutation. So whatever the name you are going to give here, it will generate according to that. Okay, so we have login user, so it's going to generate use login user mutation. Okay, so based on the name provided over here, so it's going to expose hook according to this name. I hope it's clear for you. So let's save this one, and let's go to our store.ts file, and here what we can do, so here we don't need this thunk action and action. Here we can bring auth API from our service folder. So auth API we have to bring, and we have to also bring setup listener. So what we can do over here, we can just copy this one and we can paste it over here, because we need to bring from the same path. So it will be setup listener, and inside reducer it will be auth API dot reducer path, auth API dot reducer. Okay, after that we're gonna need middleware as well. So get default middleware, and it will be get default middleware dot concat, and we are going to contact this auth API middleware. So auth API dot middleware, and here we can remove this one. So let's remove entire stuff, and here we can just do setup listener, and we can do store dot dispatch. Okay, and the rest of the thing will stay as it is. So let's save this file, and first we can verify whether our RTK query is successfully configured or not in this application. So let's go into the browser. First refresh this one. So we don't have any issue in this application after doing this RTK configuration in this application. Now here we can open our Redux dev tool. So you can see that we have successfully configured our RTK query in this application. So you can see that we have over here auth API. So this is the service that we have created in our VS Code. You can see that if you go back to VS Code, so in service folder we have Auth API. Okay, so this is the same Auth API it's showing here. So that means we have successfully configured RTK query in this application. So now we are going to perform login functionality in this application because our first endpoint is ready. You can see that here. And before we perform login functionality, so we have to adjust this URL. So it will be users. Okay. So let's change this one. And after that, let's go to our pages auth.tsx file. So on login button, let's define one on-click method first. That will be handle login. Okay. After that, let's copy this one and let's define here. And we have already write this service, so we can bring this use login user mutation in our auth.tsx file. So let's bring that one. So we need to go to service auth API and let's bring this use login user mutation. And after that, what we can do over here, use login user mutation, and here we're gonna have login user because we have already defined this login user. So this login user basically will accept email and password. So after that, we are going to destructure the property. So those property will generate after the successful API request. So it's gonna have data, and you can also see all the property by just doing like control space. So you are going to see all this property that is going to be destructured. So we are not going to use all this property, we just need data, and we're gonna need each success, each error and error. Okay. And we have to rename each property here because we are going to use one more mutation for registration. So in that case, it will create a conflict. So let's rename here. So let's change to login data. This will like is login success. Okay. So I'm just renaming here. If you're using only one mutation, then no need to change this one. But later we are going to use one more mutation for registration. So we need to rename this one, otherwise it will create an unnecessary conflict. So each login error we can give here, and this will be login error. Okay. So let's format this one. So now you can see that we have renamed this one. And in handle login, we have to first check if user has provided both value into email and password field, then I am going to basically use this login user. After this, we have to basically convert this one async await. So let's use here async and await. And here we can use login user, and we have to pass in the object. So let's pass email, password, and if user basically left any input field, so in that case we wanted to show a notification. So toast.error, and we can give a message like please fill all input field. Okay. After this, what we have to do, so we have to write one use effect. Okay. So this use effect will only run once each login success become true. Okay. So if each login success become true, Then in that case, first I wanted to show a notification like toast.success. We can give user login successfully, and after that I wanted to navigate towards the dashboard page. Okay, so here we have bring this use navigate. So let us store the reference of use navigate into a navigate variable. Let's save this one, and I'm going to use here navigate. So after successful login, I wanted to navigate towards the dashboard page. Okay, so for now we can test this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the browser, and I'm going to open my network tab as well. So for now, just ignore this warning. Let's open network tab, and I have already one user in my DB, so it will be johnwick@gmail.com, and let's keep password. So password is 123456. Okay, let's click on login. We have initiated API request. So now we got message like user login successfully. You can see that over here. So we got this result and token. So we have email, name. Okay, so in the dashboard we are just going to show the name. So now we are going to work on this dashboard page because we have to show the name. Before we work on the dashboard, we have to create a slice here. So we have to store name and token in our Redux-Toolkit state, as well as we have to also store in the local storage. So both place we have to store, then only we will able to persist the user in this application. So we have to also persist the user here as well. So let's go to the VS Code, and first I'm going to create a slice for our auth. So inside this feature folder we are going to have one auth slice .ts. So here we need to bring create slice and payload action from our Redux toolkit. So from Redux toolkit, let's bring this create slice and payload action, and we need to bring root state from our store. So let's go to this app folder, and let's go to store, and we need to bring root state. After that we have to define interface for our this auth state. So export interface, let's define auth state here. We're gonna having name, string or null. Okay, so we are going to store name and token in local storage. String null, then define the initial state. So const initial state auth state equal to object name will be null and token will be null initially. Okay, because it is the initial state only. After that we are going to create our slice. So export const auth slice, create slice, and I'm going to give the slice name here auth. Let's pass your initial state, and then we are going to have reducer. So we're gonna having a set user. Okay, in which we are going to have state and action, in which I'm going to use your payload action, and here I'm going to use name, it will be string, and token, it will be string. Okay, and after this, and this will be string, not stringify, sorry, this will be string. Okay, so first I'm going to store this name and token in our local storage. So local storage dot set item, let's give here key as a user, and here we can use json dot stringify, and we can pass here, and we can pass name and token like this way. So name action dot payload dot name, same thing we will do for token as well, action dot payload dot token. Okay, so first format this one. After this, we are also going to store this name and token in our state as well. So state dot name equal to action dot payload dot name. Okay, and let's do for token as well. So action dot payload dot token. Now below this, first we are going to create a selector for selecting the state. Okay, so export const select auth, and here we can pass here a state as a root state. Okay, because we also need to use this name in our dashboard page, so we have to basically define here selector, and it will be state dot auth. So as of now we haven't registered this reducer in our store, so we are going to register this reducer with the key auth. Okay, and this will be root state, I guess. Okay, so it is a root state, and let's remove this stringify. After this, so you can see that we are getting one warning here because it doesn't exist on type. So the warning will disappear once we register this reducer in our store. Now after this, we have to export our action as well. Export const, and it will be auth slice dot action. So we have a set user. Now export this auth slice as a reducer. So export default auth slice dot reducer. So slice nothing but here it is reducer. Okay, now let's go to this store.ts file, and here I'm going to bring that auth reducer from that feature folder. So let's go to this feature auth slice, and I'm going to register this auth reducer with the key auth only. So this is also set up. Now I think this warning should go away. So now you can see that warning got disappear after registering this reducer to our store. So now after that, what we have to do, so first we need to basically bring the use app dispatch. So we have hooks here, you can see that use app dispatch and use app selector. So we are going to use these hooks to basically dispatch an action, and we are going to use this hook to select state. Okay, so let's bring this use app dispatch. So first I'm going to define a variable dispatch. because we have to dispatch a action here, set user. So use app dispatch. So VS Code automatically suggests me this. So it's going to import automatically for me. So we have dispatch, and now here we have to dispatch that one. So we can dispatch like set user. So it's going to again import automatically from our auth slice, and here we can pass token. So we need to pass token and name. So token and name is available inside this data. So we have renamed this data to login data. So we can access like login data dot token. Same thing will go for name as well. So if I open this one, so we don't have that network request. So let's go to this auth. Okay, and I'm going to log in with johnwick@gmail.com. Let's log in. So you can see that we have token and name we have inside this result object. Okay, so here what we can do, so login data dot result dot name. Okay, so we are passing this one, and we have to pass this way. Okay, so first we are passing name and token. Let's go to this auth slice. So we are passing first name and token. So let's maintain the order over here. Let's cut this one, put it here, remove extra comma. Now let's perform once again login operation. So let's go to this again login page, and it will be again johnwick@gmail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's click on login. Let's open this Redux tab tool. So we are dispatching set user action. So you can see that we have one auth state here, and we are storing name and token. Let's see whether we are successfully able to store our name and token in local storage or not. So let's go to here application section. So now here also we have successfully able to store name and token. You can see that with the key user, and we got this value. So both places we have successfully able to store our name and token. Now we have to persist this user as well. So let's go into VS Code. So in order to persist the user, we have to go to this app.tsx file, and here we have to do some changes. So now here first we have to store the reference of use app dispatch into a dispatch variable. So let's bring use app dispatch, and first we need to bring that user. So JSON dot parse. So we have to parse whatever the value we have in our local storage. So local storage dot get item. So we have to check if we have this item. So let's get that item. So we have stored that name and token with the key user, and if you don't have any key with this user, so we have to provide this empty object, otherwise it will throw a error, because we are using TypeScript over here. Now after that, what we have to do, so we have to basically put in double quotes. Now after that, what we have to do, so we have to run one use effect. So let's bring use effect from React. And this use effect will run whenever our app get mount. Okay, so we can use here dispatch and set user. We can pass here user. Okay, we will verify this persist functionality later in this application. So this way you can persist the user in application. Now after that we have to work on our dashboard page. So in dashboard we have to show name and logout button. So let's work on this dashboard page. So here in dashboard we have to bring that name after login. So we can use here use app selector from our hooks, and inside that we can pass select auth that we have defined in the feature folder. Okay, so inside feature folder we have auth slice and we have defined this select auth. So we are basically accessing the state with the state dot auth because this auth reducer register with auth key. So let's go back to dashboard .tsx file. So now here we will get our name. Okay, you can see that, and we have to store the reference of use navigate into navigate variable as well. So use navigate. So this use navigate we have bring from React router DOM. Now inside return, let's remove this div and we are going to have section with the class name vh-100, and we are going to have gradient -custom, then we are going to have one div with the class name container py-4h-100. So what we can do here, so it is the same card that we are using over here. So we can just copy up to here. Okay, so let's just copy this one and let's just paste it over here. Now we have to close every div. So I think we have closed. So I think we have closed every div. Now inside this div we are going to have our h2 tag with the class name fw bold, and it will be having one more class name mb-2. So we can give here like welcome to dashboard. Okay, some kind of greeting message I am giving over here. After that we are going to have h4 tag, and in which I am going to show the name of that login person. So name should be here. After that we are going to have button with the class name btn outline light. Then we are going to have some class name btn-lg and empty-3. Okay, then let's give type as well, so it will be button only, and value of the button will be the logout. So let's go into the browser, and now you can see that we have got like welcome to dashboard, name John Wick, and we have got logout. So after that we are going to perform the logout functionality in this application. So let's perform the logout functionality. So we have to go back to this auth/.ts file, and here what we have to do, so here we have to write one more action. So it is closing here, I think. So after this we are going to have one logout. Okay, so logout action, it will having just state, and first we have to basically also clear the local storage. So local storage dot clear and state dot name is equal to null, state dot token is equal to null. Okay, so this way user will able to log out from the application. Now let's go back to this dashboard.tsx file, and here on button we have to specify one on-click method. We can have like handle logout. Let's define this handle logout. Handle logout. So we can dispatch this one. So we have to dispatch that logout function that we have created here. So we have created this action, but we never export here. So first let's export here logout, and then in dashboard.tsx file, first we have to store the reference of use app dispatch into a dispatch variable. So let's bring use app dispatch as well, and here first it will be like dispatch, and let's bring the logout action from our auth slice, and we can give here message like toast.success, and we can give like user logout successfully. Okay, and after that we wanted to basically navigate towards the auth page. Okay, so let's save this file and let's see whether it's working or not. So let's go back to browser, refresh this one. So you can see that user is also able to persist in this application after refreshing this application. So now let's click on this logout. So now user is successfully able to log out from our application. So we can verify this one in DevTool. So you can see that now in auth state the name and token got null, and let's verify here as well in our local storage. So let's open DevTool. So here we have successfully able to remove that key user from our local storage. So we have also implemented the logout functionality in this application. So now next thing we are going to perform the sign up functionality. So we can able to add new user in this application. So after successful registration, user basically able to navigate towards the dashboard page. So let's perform this sign up functionality in this application. So to perform the sign up functionality, we have to start from this service folder. So we have to go to this auth api.ts file, and here we have to add one more endpoint. So what we can do, so we can just copy this one and we can just paste it over here because it will almost same. So this will become register user, and here we are going to receive first name. Okay, and we are going to receive last name as well. And we have to change this endpoint as well, so it will be sign up, and this will expose the new hook. So we are going to use here use register user mutation. Okay, so whatever the name you are going to give over here, it will expose a new hook based on this name. So let's save this file and let's go to this auth.tsx file. So here again I'm going to use that mutation, that use register user mutation. So let's bring that one, use register user mutation, and I'm going to use over here only. So use register user mutation, and first we have this register user, then we have to destructure all this thing. So I can just copy this one. I can just paste it over here, and let's change this key. So it will be register data, and this will be register success. This will be register error, and this will be register error. Okay. Now on the register button, we have to define one method, that is handle register. So let's copy this one. Let's use it here. And again, it will be async await. So let's give here async only. And first we have to check if password and confirm password is not match, then we don't want it to register that user. So we can just return like return toast dot error, and we can give here like password do not match. Okay. After that, if everything is correct and all value is provided into each field by user, then we can register that user. So here we are checking if we have value in each input field, password and email, then we can use here like await, and we can use register user. So we can pass here like first name, last name, email, password. Okay. After successful registration, we will get this is register success. So we have to add this dependency here. So I wanted to run this use effect if we able to register user successfully. So again, I can just copy this one. It will be almost identical. So here we are just checking is register success. Okay. So this will be like user registered successfully. Let's change this message, and it will be register data. Okay. And after successful registration, I wanted to navigate towards the dashboard page. So let's save this file and see whether we are able to register a new user or not in our application. So first refresh this one. Let's click on sign up, and I'm going to add a new user with the name here Mark Taylor. We can give email here like mark123@email.com. Let's give password 123456. Again 123456, and if password is not matched, then it won't register. So you will get this message like password do not match. So let's give here the same password that we have in our password field. Now let's click on register. So now you can see that we have got message like user registered successfully, and after successful registration we are navigating towards this dashboard page, and we got name here Mark Taylor. Now I also wanted to show the error message if you try to log in with the wrong password, or if you try to register with the same email. So let's do that one. So you can see that here we are bringing this is login error, is register error. So we can use one more use effect below this. Okay, so this use effect will run if you have any error while doing login or register. So we can check here if we have any kind of error. So is login error or is register error? So we can do like if is login error, then we can use toast dot error, and we can use here like login error as any dot data dot message. Same thing we will do for register as well. So if you have any error while doing registration, so we can do like this way. So let's save this file and let's go into the browser first. Let's log out. So we have logged out successfully. Let's open network tab as well. So now I'm going to log in with John Wick, but I'm going to give a wrong password here. Okay, let's click on login. So now you can see that we have got message like invalid credential from our backend. So you can see that in request we are getting this message like invalid credential, and if you try to log in with the email, that is not exist. So let's try to log in with the email that doesn't exist, and so in that case you will see the message like user does not exist. So message will get changed based on user input. So let's try to see the error message for registration as well. So let's refresh this one and let's see the error message for registration as well. So let's click on sign up. I'm going to just give your name like John Wick, and let's use the same email. So johnwick@gmail.com. So this email is already registered. Okay, so it won't allow to register with the same email. So let's click on register. So now you can see that we got message like user already exists. Okay, so we have also read the error message that we are receiving from our backend. So the next thing we have to do, like suppose if you are able to log in, so let's click on login. Okay, so now we are logged in, and if you click on logout, and if you just change this route to dashboard, so in that case we don't want it to see this dashboard page. Okay, so if user is logged in, then only we want it to show this dashboard page, unless we don't want it to show the dashboard page. So we have to protect this route. Okay, so this dashboard route need to protect. So we have to create component for that to protect this route. So what we have to do, so let's go into the VS Code. So in component we have to create one file first. So the component name will be like loading to redirect .tsx, and here let's generate a snippet first, and here let's generate a snippet first. After that let's bring use state and use effect. Okay, and we have to also bring use navigate from React router DOM. And we need some component from our MDB React UI kit. So MDB model, MDB dialog, okay, model dialog, and MDB model content. So if user is not authorized and if you try to access dashboard page, so we wanted to redirect user in 5 seconds. So here we have to specify the value of count and set count, use state, it will be 5. Let's store the reference of use navigate into a navigate variable. Then here first we can use a use effect here. Okay, and we have to pass dependency here count. So whenever count update, I wanted to run this use effect again, and you can also pass navigate here. And here we can have interval. So interval equal to set interval. We can pass a callback function here, and that will basically set the count. So basically we are going to decrease a count, okay, after 1 second. So we can decrease the value of count here, and here we can pass 1000 millisecond, which is equivalent to 1 second. Okay, and after this we have to also unmount. So if count is equal to 0, then we basically wanted to navigate towards the auth. Okay, after this let's work on this return part. So let's say remove this one. We're gonna have class name vh-100. Again I'm going to give here gradient custom. We are going to use here model, MDB model, and let's give show to true. After this MDB model dialog, which will be center, and then we are going to have content, MDB model content. Inside that I'm going to use p tag with the class name empty-3. We can give a message like redirecting you in. So here we can give count value. So this count value will get decreased every 1 second. So let's save this one, and here also we have to clear the interval. So return clear interval, and we can pass this interval. Okay, let's save this one, and now we are going to have one more component for private route. So private route dot tsx. Let's generate snippet, and here we are going to receive a children. So basically we are going to receive a entire component as a children, and here we are getting some warning, you can see that. So we have to also specify the type here. So children could be any. Now after that we need token. So we can use here use selector. Okay, and we can pass here simply select auth, and we can just check this one. So let's remove this return, and we can just write here return. So we can check if we have the token, then render that page, that is dashboard page, else we are going to show the loading to redirect component. Okay, let's save this file, and we can remove this one. Okay, and let's go to this app.tsx file, and here we can wrap our dashboard component with the private route. Okay, so private route, and now inside that we are going to have our dashboard. Okay, so let's save this file and let's verify this one in browser. So let's go to this auth. Okay, and let's go to this dashboard. So it is not working. Okay, let me see. So we did one small mistake over here. So we have to destructure token like this way. So let's save this file. Let's go to the browser. So now you can see that we are getting this redirecting you in 5 seconds. So if user is not authorized, so you will get this message like redirecting you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you can see that we are getting this message. So we have also protected our dashboard route as well in this application. So only authorized user can access that dashboard page. So we have implemented all the functionality in this application like login and registration. We have also able to protect the route if user is not authorized. So we have successfully able to implement the full authentication with the help of RTK query in React. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe this channel. I will see you in next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.